The American Food and Drug Administration has become so unreliable that it took them 5 months to shut down a contaminated baby formula factory. Luckily, the standards for what good food should be is much better in other countries. In this video, we'll be listing down American foods that have been banned in other countries. Keep your eyes peeled till the end of the video because you might just see a product that your country hasn't caught yet. Number 1. Fruit Loops. Toucan Sam's colorful loops are hiding a health-threatening secret, and other countries have taken note. Countries like France, Austria, Norway, and Finland have all banned this breakfast cereal, and it's all because of an unnecessary ingredient: food dye. Some food dyes, mainly yellow number 5 and red number 40, are banned all over the world because they're scientifically proven to cause harm to our bodies. Yellow number 5 has gone through multiple tests, each one showing significant evidence that this dye could damage our white blood cells, causing permanent damage to our DNA. On the other hand, red number 40 is a dye that has shown potential carcinogenic effects, causing tumor growths during animal testing. It's quite upsetting thinking that these potential health hazards could be avoided so easily if the brand just switched to natural colorings and sweeteners. Hopefully, the prolonged ban is a wake-up call. Number 2. Cap'n Crunch. From the tropical jungle of Toucan Sam, we now dive deep with Captain Crunch, another breakfast cereal from America. Although Cap'n Crunch cereal also has an unnaturally yellow look, its problems don't lie in the dye. Cap'n Crunch has been banned from countries such as Japan and the European Union because of the usage of a food additive called butylated hydroxytoluene, BHT for short. BHT is a commonly used food additive to prevent the spoilage and rancidity of fats, oils, and fatty foods. Although BHT is quite effective at extending shelf life, it has also shown significant evidence as a carcinogen during animal studies. If that wasn't enough to scare you away, BHT is also a proven endocrine disruptor, potentially interfering with hormonal balance. But amidst all this evidence, the FDA still sees the BHT levels used in Captain Crunch to be tolerable. Talk about a bunch of serial killers. Number 3. Instant mashed potatoes. Just by the name of the product itself, you can already tell this entry is a culinary monstrosity. Instant mashed potatoes can be seen as a feat of medical science in America, but countries like Japan, Australia, and the European Union see otherwise. No mashed potato should stay fresh on the shelf for that long, and it's all thanks to one synthetic food additive called butylated hydroxyanisole, BHA for short. As BHT's close relative, BHA contains much of the same problematic properties. A proven carcinogenic that can not only ruin your body, but also disrupt your hormonal balance so you feel horrible in every aspect. As with BHT, BHA is also allowed by the FDA in small, acceptable portions.
This is not
BHT.
But it's best not to bet your life on some mashed potatoes. Instead, we suggest just making mashed potatoes from scratch, the natural way. Number 4. Ritz crackers. Ritz crackers are a charcuterie board staple, best paired with cheese, berries, and loads of trans fats. These trans fats found in Ritz crackers' hydrogenated cottonseed oil are the reason why Ritz crackers are banned in countries like Switzerland, Austria, Hungary, Iceland, Norway, and Denmark. For a cracker to be banned in so many countries, there has to be a glaring problem. Trans fats are a type of unsaturated fat that has been chemically altered to prolong the shelf life of these crackers. These fats are not naturally occurring in significant amounts and are linked to various health risks. One such health risk is the increased risk of heart disease, stroke, and other cardiovascular issues. It's also important to point out that Ritz crackers have also been rumored to contain a chemical compound called potassium bromate, a popular carcinogen. Although the ingredients list doesn't clearly state the existence of potassium bromate, you can never trust the lenience of the FDA. Number 5. Coffeemate Instant Creamer. Sorry to ruin your morning coffee, but the Coffeemate creamer you've been loving your entire life might actually be straight-up oil. Despite what the label may say, the creamy texture that you have in creamers is actually a mix of vegetable oils that have undergone hydrogenation. It's this alarming amount amount of hydrogenated oil that prompted Austria, Hungary, and multiple Scandinavian countries to outright ban Coffeemate instant creamer. As we've discussed previously, the process of hydrogenation is used to increase the shelf life of oil-based products. But as a result, the otherwise harmless vegetable oil is turned into a trans fat bomb that clogs up your arteries and raises the level of bad LDL cholesterol while lowering levels of good HDL cholesterol. Luckily, the FDA in January 2020 has since banned the use of hydrogenated oils in food production. Only time will tell if countries accept Coffeemate as their mate. Number 6. Nestle drumstick ice cream. These Nestle drumsticks are banned in the European Union, but not for the reason you may think. Despite being jam-packed with sugar, Nestle drumsticks are actually banned because of the use of a food additive called carrageenan. Carrageenan is derived from certain types of seaweed and is commonly used in the food industry as a stabilizer, thickener, and texturizer in a wide range of processed foods. Although carrageenan is derived from natural resources, it still isn't the perfect food additive. Some studies, particularly those conducted on animals and in cell cultures, have suggested that certain forms of carrageenan may have inflammatory and digestive effects. These effects could potentially lead to gastrointestinal issues in some individuals, such as irritation, discomfort, and inflammation. Who knew seaweed could be such a pain in the gut? Number 7. Skittles. Skittles have been telling us to taste the rainbow for years, but they never warned us the rainbow might end up turning us green. Skittles have been banned by the European Union because of their unnaturally vivid colors, all of which are caused by dangerous dyes such as red dye number 3. But dyes aren't the only additive that gives Skittles such bright colors. There's also the addition of a mineral compound called titanium dioxide, which is also often used in cosmetics and paints.
Have you been drinking paint? No.
Skittles is such a cocktail of harmful additives that California recently passed a bill that would ban the sale of Skittles and other candies that use the same additives. Sometimes all you really need is a good ban to teach a lesson. Number 8. Pork ractopamine. Now that we've gone past the snack aisle, it's time to head on towards the produce aisle, where we can talk about the pork. If you've ever seen pork barbecue in America, you know that it's a go big or go home game. And thanks to a little additive called ractopamine, you know pork is always gonna go big. Ractopamine is a feed additive used to promote lean muscle growth and reduce fat content in animals raised for meat production. Bigger should be better, but in this case, the ractopamine fed to pigs leaves residue on the meat that can then be consumed by humans. Eating pork with traces of ractopamine has shown signs of increasing cardiovascular issues, such as increased heart rate and blood pressure. This is the reason why American pork has been banned for export in countries such as Russia, China, and the European Union. Number 9. Cow's milk. Sadly, it's not just the pigs that are affected. Canada has put a ban on American milk because of little growth hormones called recombinant bovine somatotropin, or RBST for short. RBST has been used in the American milk industry for a long time, injected into cow udders to increase their milk production. Although more milk is always good, the milk was considerably affected. The use of RBST in cows was linked to increased levels of insulin-like growth factor 1 in cow's milk. Consumption of this growth factor has been linked to increased risk of certain cancers.
Mr. White?
Yes.
You understood what I've just said to you.
Yes. Lung cancer. Inoperable.
Number 10. Farm-raised salmon. And now that we've covered turf, we also have to discuss the surf. Farm-raised salmon from America has been banned in countries such as Australia and New Zealand because of 2 reasons. First, farmed salmon is often kept in poor water quality, making them more susceptible to contamination. Farm-raised salmon can accumulate contaminants such as polychlorinated biphenyls, PCBs, dioxins, and heavy metals from their feed and polluted water. These contaminants accumulate in the meat of the fish, posing health risks on salmon lovers. Second, keeping salmon in farms hurts the natural balance of nature, and if by some chance any of these contaminated salmon escape, that could mean the rampant widespread of artificial diseases. As the saying goes, we are what we eat. It's important to care about what you put in your stomach, because sadly, the government sure doesn't.